You guys show me by vote of hands. What time do you want to leave here? Okay.
What are our options?
All right. Option number 1 is 7 p.m. I'm just kidding. 4 p.m. 3. Let me see them. 2:30. Can we agree on 2:30? Is that okay? Can everybody stick to? Okay. I'm going to work backwards through that. Can we work through lunch? Part you can eat, yes. My husband is going to start telling you about me in a minute.
Would be nice to do rush hour.
Hey, Jennifer?
Yes.
If somebody decided now that as we're working on this, they wanted to do something tomorrow, are you
Yes.
still available to do that?
So yes, a couple things we can do. So you guys don't have to come back here. We can set you up with Beverly, Kimberly, or Mike and I, because there's lots of us, and we would just pick a time for you guys to get on the calendar for tomorrow, and we can set 1 hour, we can set 2 hours, and dive in on a one-on-one basis. And day 2, it actually is more effective when we can dive in on day 2 on one-on-one. But we would just set those appointments. So you guys pick a time that works with your schedule. We'll see which one of the 3 of us is available and make it happen. Yes.
So, when I sign up for this, are you good at holding hands?
Are we wet?
Good at holding hands?
So let me tell you about the 2 resources in this area. Okay. So you have, for this region, you have 2 people that are dedicated to this region. One of them's name is Beverly, and the other one's name is Kim. Both of them are country girls. They both got some Texas swang accents and everything. Okay. One of them is more experienced and more patient and a little older. And that's Bev. And she has a lot of experienced and patient. That's what it means. Okay. The other one is the regional manager, who's responsible for being the intermediary, so you don't have to talk to a designer or a developer or an SEO person, because they will all give you headaches. Her name is Kimberly. She's younger, faster than all of us.
I need blunt.
She's real bold. So I used to say you have to sign a waiver. I kind of look at it like this. She's the chihuahua at your door that eventually you have to open the door. She will keep barking. She's kind of like the personal trainer you wonder if you wish you should have hired.
2x4 to the face. That's what
So, yes. If she ever goes too fast, you could literally be like, listen, girl, chill out. I'm going to need you to talk a little slower so I can catch up, and then we can get going. And she'd be like, oh, okay. And she's real cool. You can be as bold as you want with her. Real cool. Just always be nice to her. The younger ones don't have as tough a skin as they don't have as many experiences with tail whippings. She'll do anything for you if you guys love each other. It's how they work when you're working with the different age groups. It's how they are. She'll do anything. Okay. Yes, they will hold your hand and they will push you, and it will be annoying at times. Okay. Okay. That's my warning. So, all right. Yes. Okay. So 2:30, work backwards. Yes, you get to eat. We'll work through lunch. Does anyone have a problem with me going through your website as a group and giving you guys pointers and things to look for? Any issues? Everyone, would that be beneficial to everyone? Okay, cool. We're going to do that. I'm also going to show you the Amana website so you can get a feel for the difference. Yes.
When you say Amana website, I want to clarify. It's
Framework.
not our website, it's Amana framework that
Yes.
you can easily turn on and move forward with.
Yes. It'll look like if you choose to take that option, it'll look like your site. Yes. You guys are awesome. That was
What if
exactly
they
the
create
same.
a second brand, and they want to have a little bit of the second brand on the Amana website? Does that roll into a custom site now?
So it depends. And it depends if you're using your accrual dollars to pay for the Amana site. So we have some requirements when it comes to
No second brand.
using accruals. Yes. But we can absolutely add Dyke and Duckless on there. That's obvious. If you have non-competing things like, say, Daikin. Oh yeah, that too. And if you have non-competing things like some water filters, I've seen some different things. Those can obviously go on the site. Yes. Other than that, you need to get their approval for anything we do outside. Okay, yes.
Okay, so you looked at the framework, right? And
Mhm.
I'm sure you know the answer to that. To ask is a couple of people in here that are really close to each other as far as where
Yep.
their companies are. If they both decided to do it, I mean the website would look completely
Different. Yeah, they'll be their brand, their colors, their pictures. So, a website, the frame of a website is like the house before you put all the stuff in the inside. You can have the exact same framework and change out the pictures and the images and the layout and move things around. All a website is a bunch of blocks. That's all a website is. It's a bunch of containers. It's half and half, or it's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, or it's 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. It's squares. That's all a website is. So we can rearrange the squares.
Can you
Yes.
show us an example of a dealer's website that's using the Amana framework,
Yes.
so that we can
We
see
have-
that?
We have ours on there, I think.
It's connected to Amana?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same.
Yes. No.
Okay.
So, will you shoot me some links while I do this? So I'm gonna go into that. I'm gonna have Mike shoot me links from the CRM system, and then I'll pull those up. Okay. So let's dive into your guys' sites first. We're gonna start. Can we start with this one?
Sure.
Okay. So right out of the gate, these are things just to pay attention to, and it'll make your reticular activator pop on, so you can recognize these things in the future. So one, this is what it looks like when a site's not secure. There's a notification on the site that says don't enter any information on this site. That's the first one. Next one is when you get to a phone, anywhere there's a phone number on the site, it has to be clickable. If we tap this thing and nothing happens, then it's not a click to call number. Everything that's not great is going to increase your bounce rate. So there's one KPI called bounce rate. Everybody in here has one. And bounce rate is either 80%, 70%, or 40%. 40% is good. 80% is not good. Any one of these things is going to increase the bounce rate. That means the total number of people coming to the site, 80% leave, 50% leave. It means they don't do anything. They don't take action. Okay? That's a very important KPI. Okay, so we have social media links. Now, when we're traveling around the site, we do want to make sure that we never lose a call to action. We always want to have a call to action somewhere on the website. You don't want someone to move around the site and them to disappear. So either keep your navigation intact or keep it at the top so it stays there, or have some kind of a pop-up at the bottom. The other thing is right now the only option when I land on this, the call to action is essentially call today, which means anybody at work who can't call isn't going to. So there's got to be other options for people who don't like to call or can't call. I can't deal with my phone because I'm always sitting in front of people. I can text while I go to the restroom on break, but I can't call ever. I can't answer the calls. I can't take them. I can't do it. So there's a whole bunch of people like that who also can't. So make sure that you give them the option to text, call, chat, or schedule online. Yes.
Is that included in your?
There are options. So click to call, absolutely. Having a web form to fill out, absolutely. Adding a chat bot, there's a cost to that because now we have to pay for third-party software. Adding an online scheduling, there's a cost to that as well. So texting, we can make a phone. Most phone numbers we can get to accept a text. Some, let me say, and some we cannot. So if you're using a phone that allows for text messages in and out, yes. Otherwise, you got to get a call tracking and text line. It's $10 a month. It's a different phone number. It's used for a lot of things, but now we can track calls, record calls, get texts in and out. You can track where they came from. Was it a paid ad? Was it a Google search? Was it a Google map? So you can track your $10. You have a new line that can do all those things.
But it's still, okay, so you're still texting the number that
Yep.
shows.
Yes, and you would change the design to say call or text. Okay. Okay, so now when we come to the site, essentially all sites kind of similar design. Who you are, where you are. So who you are, what you do, where you do it, how to reach you, and what do other people think about you. So in this environment, the our services, we definitely want to make sure that we separate those out. You want air conditioning services, heating services, IAQ services. That way, and we actually move the navigation sometimes, is if you're in Florida and 90% of your season is only air conditioning, there is no other season. It's just cooling season. They don't have others. We will make sure that the air conditioning stays top of mind and it's the first thing people can click at. But when we put things under our services, anytime we cause one more step, it starts to increase that bounce rate. So we want them to be able to see right out of the gate, home, about us, air conditioning, heating, IAQ, who we serve, reviews, contact us. That would be a good general layout. And just get these things out of here. Some people's devices, especially on a phone, when we have a navigation that's that long, they're going to get irritated because they're going to try and scroll down and it's going to disappear and it's going to make people crazy. Start to freak out with stuff like that. Testimonials. The word testimonials is the worst term you could technically use on any website because no one's going to Google for Northern Heating and Air Conditioning testimonials. They will search for what?
Reviews.
Yes. Small, tiny tweak that makes a huge difference. We'll come back to reviews. Right now, you guys have a blog. By geo-target. So I'm going to run one. Let me see if it'll let me. I'm going to run it on Safari. Are you guys writing your own blog content or do you have someone providing it?
They're doing it.
They're doing it. Okay. So the question anytime anyone's writing content for you, I'm going to let that run, is do they use that content on anybody else's websites? So if it's duplicate content, you can get penalized for that. You want to make sure it's 100% unique content, which we'll run a quick check on it and just double check. Now, I don't know if you need blog content right now. You need new content. You want to keep the site updated and so forth. But I think for your scenario, if we're looking for, what city are we going after? What is it?
I see him.
Got it. You guys are all right next to each other, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're number one on the map, but we're not.
Okay. All right. So this one, is this one yours? Which one is yours?
I think both of them, that's somebody else using our phone.
Okay, so we need to get that one under control. We need to submit disputes on that one for sure. On whichever one is wrong. The closed at 7, pulling that down. There's no directions request. Do you guys have a physical office space? Okay, so we should display it. That'll help increase that. Display it. Right now it's not being displayed as an option. It's private. And that's only going to help in that city. It's not going to help anywhere else.
Right.
So the website's not technically when
It's not built up yet.
yes, so the website's not what's ranking, it's the Google Maps ranking. So whatever SEO work they're doing for that area and you have an office there, it should perform better than that. Anywhere you guys have a physical office, a Google Maps listing, that should be where you rank first. That should be the easy win. Getting found in a city you don't have a physical office, that's tougher. But the one you have an office in, that should be your ace in the hole. So when I look at the site, the challenge is this page, for example. How did that happen? Did I click on furnace repair? Okay. Why does that? Okay. So first and foremost, just a little, you see, can you see this? This is what they name the URL. So first,
Large.
they put our services, which is a sub drop down. Don't need that. That's garbage. That prevents Google from seeing it. Now, what we're telling Google is furnace, troubleshooting, inspection, emergency, heating, repair, tune, up, prevention, maintenance, service, / furnace replacement. That's actually a beyond violation of Google. So you're only allowed in every single thing that you have is allowed a certain number of characters. So for your page titles, you're only allowed 60 characters. For your meta descriptions, you're only allowed 141 characters. That and if you ever have to have a conversation with a web company, if you Google for Google SEO guidelines PDF, Google produces right here, Google's search engine starter guide. This is from Google, not from the lady you heard at the Johnstone training class, because no one wants to hear that. Okay? They won't like us or anyone else at that point. So you say, I was reading the Google optimization starter guide, and it says don't use a URL longer than this number of characters. Everything I'm telling you is verified in this little simple document. So creating accurate page titles, and it has really pretty little pictures. So this is easy. Your meta description, how many characters you're allowed to have, accurately summarizing the page's content, things to avoid, and then it says your URL structures, and it says don't use web app page ID equals 1 2 3 4 5, and don't have sub drop downs, and it only can be so many letters. So all those things, and it'll literally say don't do blank, don't do blank. It's Google's rules. It makes it easier. Okay.
But really, it's just a map to make it go faster to use Google, right? I mean, that's the purpose of it.
Well,
Because you're giving way too much information. is what
yes.
you're doing.
This
So you're
is-
overloading it. So
yeah.
they're gonna pretty much flag you.
yeah.
And
You don't want to
if
do
you
anything that's a
actually-
penalty.
Okay.
If anyone in here thinks we're smarter than Google, we're just not. There was a time when we were. That was a fun day. It's not fun anymore. You used to just need a pack of nerds and you could get anything done. Now you cannot.
Now, how does that work if you were using a different search engine, like Bing?
Don't worry about any other search engines. 90% of all traffic happens on Google. If you follow its rules, you're good on the other ones. Yep. So the other thing is, remember when you look at each individual page like a product. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? So if the page was actually titled furnace replacement, and I search for furnace replacement, you'll see how many pages I'm competing with. Got to have a geo target in there. We have to bring them home. We have to say where. If we don't say where, then you guys are trying to compete like you sell globally, like you sell to anyone no matter where they're at. So it's got to say furnace repair in blank, blank, and surrounding areas. Furnace repair, furnace service in blank, 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 and surrounding areas. Still can't go over, so you can't go crazy on them. You might be able to get 2 cities to rank, but not more than that. Okay.
What if you go to county?
No consumer search by county. So, yeah, it doesn't. When you talk to an advertising agency, and these are things, clues to look for when you're talking with different companies, if they say, what zip codes do you want to sell for? And you're talking about a website, run, because that means they came from print. If they ask that question, run, like be out. Okay? If they start talking about website and they talk about design before structure, run, because that means they came from print. That's when they build things that look pretty on the outside but function horribly behind the scenes because they're not coders. They don't have a developer. Does anyone have a friend that's a developer or coder? Anyone known anybody like that? You want to guess what they're like? They're
They don't have any friends.
right. Yes. Yes. So I have a family I'm talking about my family in blood, and it's my whole family is a bunch of coders. Like literally, you're like, what are you doing Friday? They're like hanging out with friends. You pull up to their driveway, is not a car there. There's no one there. You walk in, A, they're in the garage. It's totally not a living space in most households. Odd. B, random hours. And you're like, who's your friends? And they're like, oh, that's AK-69. From Norway. And we're in a tournament. They're just different. They can't spell because they write in code. So if you ask them to write content for a website, never ask a developer to write content for a website. They cannot spell. Everything they write is short code. Div li equals list item. Div equals container. Like they just bold equals strong. Strong equals they cannot spell. What about a designer? What are they like? Graphics designers. Chatty, yes. Friendly, yes. Do they dress nice? Yes. Their house is decorated nice. The garage is for cars. They have actual friends. They went to art school, right? They probably have never been arrested for doing something. They're just different people. They're creative. They also don't write content. And then you have an engineer. What's an engineer like? They're the worst. Do they guess?
No.
Do they care how you feel?
No.
Never. Never. Your feelings do not matter. You would never want them to. Right. You're like, right? That's an SEO engineer. They are a different breed. What about social media people? What do you think they're like? Who loves me? I'm friends with everybody. I had 45 likes. No, you were a giant waste of time. No, I'm just kidding. That's what the engineer says to the social media person, right? They technically duke it out regularly. And then you have a content writer who can somehow sit in a cave, stare at a screen, and be like for hours on end without looking up. And you wonder, do you have a catheter? How did you sit there that long? I'm sorry. This is really wrong. But it's very real. So you guys need each one of these strangos, and you need a person in the middle that lets them duke it out, have their little arguments, and then they go, okay, pause. We're going to do this. And it's going to happen in this time frame. You're going to do that. You're going to do that. We're done arguing, and now we're going to go to work. You have to have a mediator in the middle, a project manager in the middle, to keep them on track and to prioritize, because everybody believes what they know is way better and more important than everyone else. You'll have some twit saying that Twitter is going to make you the most money. No, it's not. It's totally not. It's just what they know. So, welcome to my world. That's ours. But all of these things, it depends on who's looking at this. Like the security team, your SEO team should be having a heart attack with your security team. They should be saying, how am I going to spend money on SEO when your server's insecure? They should be getting on their tail like crazy, saying it's the first thing you have to do. Like, don't do that. I mean, you need those different people to hold each other accountable, because each one of those can domino effect and ruin something else. You can have a designer create rounded corners and a developer say those don't work on search engines. They don't render. So, all right. And then the only thing so instead of just call, definitely want to say we make it easy. You can click, you can call, you can connect with us here, you can request a quote and so forth. I would, at this point, I would stop most of it. I would fix the structure, fix the website, restructure, redesign. I want it to feel like this location when I get here. I want to feel comfortable, like I know where I'm at. And I would spend most of my time restructuring each of these individual pages to make them legit. I don't want to go to furnish replacement and see air conditioning everywhere. It's a message to market mismatch, and we lose people in there. It needed to be real specific. It would be better to slow down on all those marketing activities, stop all the investments on all that, and just say, the only thing I'm going to focus on is getting ready for air conditioning. Let's clean this up. Yeah. Good promotions. Yes, I'd start on, everyone in here should be working on air conditioning season right now from an SEO standpoint. Social media, you should be focused on, it's freezing, it's snowing, it's cold, it's -9. Oh my gosh, are you okay? We're here to help. SEO, you got to work on the next season. Mine is what? Oh, right. Yeah, it doesn't matter what page you go
You
to,
go
it
to the
all
same
says
place every year.
air conditioning. So I would just scrap it and start over. It's faster.
Okay.
Then you know it's structured right out of the gate correctly. Okay. All right. Next. Who wants to go next? All right. What is it? Yes, got it. Okay. So right out of the gate, first thing I love, you have something called structured data. That means when I pulled your site up, it's the .com, right? Not the .net? Okay.
Yes, yes.
I love the fact that you have a strong enough company digitally that someone thinks it's worth it to bid on ads for your company name. That's actually a sign of progress when someone's paying to try and steal your leads. That's funny. And I like the fact that from a structure standpoint, this is called structured data. When you own more real estate, that way it's not your website, boom, right underneath it, your competitor site.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. I love that this says 24 hours. That's fantastic. 4.4, 14 reviews. We can always continue building that. That's good. Your phone number that you have listed on your Google business number is a textable number. I know it because of an app. So anywhere it's a phone number that's textable, I have this little Z that comes up. So you'll see here, you have your phone number that is textable in the meta title, which is cool. So the pros and cons. The pro is if I want to text you right now, I can simply click this and boom, log in and text you. The con is the traffic you get from someone texting you from here is not in any of your data or reports. The only way you could track it is if you had call tracking on that number. So your website might be performing better than your data says it is. Not a bad, it just is, right? Now, challenge, nowhere here do I see any geo-target. I don't see anything about location. 24-hour, I like that. That's definitely helpful. You're covering all your nights and weekenders. Furnace, heating, AC system, sale. So you could actually get rid of the word sales because no one wants to be sold to and just say AC system. So installation, repair, service, and maintenance. It's probably good. Instead of saying save on, you might say financing available for high efficiency systems. That might give you a better conversion. And this is your metadata on your homepage. That's great. And the reason I said financing is because your metadata is pulling that you have coupons available, but nothing for financing. So I would make that a priority. That'd be the first things I would change out of the gate. Okay. So not click to call. We definitely want those phone numbers click to call. You possibly have a mobile version.
Yeah.
So compliance wise has to be mobile first. Whatever you have at the mobile has to stretch to the visual. So if it's clickable on a mobile device, it needs to be clickable on a 7-inch tablet, 10-inch tablet, 14-inch tablet, PC, big screen, whatever it's on. And this is wildly important, and it's kind of hidden down here. For everyone in here, this top right corner, we install heat maps on all of our websites, and we can tell where everyone moves on a website, how long they're there, where they take actions. The majority of the population is right-handed, so the right-hand side of the website and this top right-hand corner is what everybody's used to taking action on. When you go to your bank and log in, where's the login?
Oh, yeah.
Top right corner. Every site you go to, whatever you need to log in is always in that top right corner. That's where the mind takes you, the wrist takes you, the arm takes you. Just keep all of your call to actions right here in this very top. Social media links, good. Right now, I want to know where I'm at. I want to know if I'm in the right area. So if I just moved to what did you say earlier? Yep, that too. And I landed on your site, I want to know instantaneously in the header, everyone should have something that says servicing the blank, blank, and surrounding areas. That's where you can put your counties in the header because that has no SEO value. It's only for the human eye. So when it's on the pages, it needs to be for search engines. when it's sitting on the header or the footer needs to be for humans. Header and footer don't change. Those stay the same. That's for people. That's where people make all the choices. I like the fact that your navigation sticks as it moves down. That's good. I like the promotions. This is a promotion heavy business. So free estimates, great. Keep playing with that. What we've done is we have a list. Mike and the team we study the top 100 heating and air conditioning websites, and we have a list of every single promotion we've ever seen them offer, just in a giant spreadsheet, and we build those into our template. Try promotions that really stand out. If you, like I had somebody that said, $795 furnace with installation of a high efficiency air conditioner system. It was just bam, that worked really well. If somebody else said, it was guarantee or free maintenance through the end of summer with tune-up. So if you came out and did a tune-up in your shoulder season, they guaranteed that anything that happened through that next season, that they would take care of it for them. So anything you can come up with that's going to make consumers bend, that's great. I like the call or email us anytime. You have a textable number. You might as well say text, call, or email. We make it easy. Keep giving the feeling of we make it easy. 24 hours. Contact our team at any time. Something like that. Some of our companies that perform the best, they don't charge extra if it's an evening or a weekend repair. And I know that depends on your business, whether or not you're going to do work evenings or weekends. But if you do happen to do work evenings or weekends, if you said no extra charge for evening and weekend service or repair, just boom, that helps. They don't think you're going to charge them an arm and a leg because they're having an emergency on a Saturday. Okay. I like this, but make it a graphic. Make it an image. Make them pictures. Real pictures, pretty pictures, good graphics. Or a combination of graphics and text. Okay. So the term residential and the term commercial, these switches, so technically it should be commercial air conditioning and heating in blank, blank, and surrounding areas. Same thing. Same thing on the residential side. Residential heating and air conditioning on blah, blah, blah. And you might just create a second page. You could keep this one just in case. Testimonials, we covered that. Same thing. Switch it to reviews. Get rid of the word testimonials. So we have heating. We're just really missing geo-targets. Furnace service in blank should be separate from furnace repair in blank versus furnace installation in blank versus furnace. Actually, you have these separate. So
when they're
that's good,
when
actually.
They're in blue, that means that it's being
Clickable
used.
link.
It's clickable, and that's what
Sometimes.
Google's picking up or
Yes.
searches are.
Yes, that I can tell. It depends on how you code the website, but this one definitely is if it's underlined. So that's actually really good, and you've got a good chunk of content in there. The only thing I would include in there is geo-targets. You've got one for repair, installation, replacement, and maintenance. I would make geo-targets. I would make the heat pumps separate from heating, separate from furnaces. Make that its own thing. And let's get the promotions to match what they're looking for. So if they're coming for a replacement, make the promotion related to replacement. So let's go back to your website's a giant store. Let me go here for a second. See if I can refresh this. So if your website is a giant store, and every page you put inside of it, slow internet. Okay, I'll let that load. Each one of these products in your store, so even here, actually, sorry, this is, So what Google's having to file, so just like the product inside the store, Google's having to say, is it a furnace or is it heating or is it heating or is it system or is it replacement? You get my drift. We want to be really, really tight so that it can go, you know, when you walk into a grocery store and there's a sign and it says noodles, right? Pasta, right? That makes it easy. And it's one line item in each thing. That'll help. When you guys build a website and when we build a website, we all build a website with 90% of the energy going to the home page as if that's the main front door to our store. When in reality, as your interior pages start ranking for things like furnace repair in blank, your front door is not the home page. Your front door is the interior page. The more front doors you have on the interior of the website, the better. But as they get to move into page 1 in the top 10, we need to make them as pretty as the home page. So investing in this page, if this page is on, if this ranks on, which let's just look real quick. What city are you located in? Okay, so we're going to look for the title of the page, which is the label in the bottle. There's 7.7 million pages in the drawer, lots of ads. There's your Google business listing. There's your website. So you're in the top 3. Here's the difference. Okay, who's going to get the click on this page right now? Which one's going to get it?
The one with the 5 stars.
That's the one with the 5-star. So let me put things in perspective. Hurlburt was one of my first heating and air conditioning clients, and they still are our customer. We forever. This was one of our first. I think they've been with us like 10 years. We've recommended to him every year for 10 years that he should add Nearby Now to his website, because right here, these guys are using Nearby Now. Nearby Now comes with something called schematic markup, which allows us to display the stars of the reviews you get when you go use that app to get reviews on your website. We can display it in Google SERP listings, or Google sometimes will display it. They will choose to display that, but it's one of the only systems that allows us to do that. So the immediate goal here, you're on page 1, and you're not just on page 1, you're on page 1, position 3 and 4. So everything in my power, number 1, the main website, is your office located in Hudson? Okay, so, and you're ranked. The home page of the website as well as the interior page. This is the front door for someone looking for heater installation. If this said heating system replacement in Hudson, Wisconsin, if it matched what I was searching for, if the title was identical, this would be the page I would focus on improving. I would focus on improving the design, the content, the promotion, add a video to it, do anything you can to knock the socks off everybody else and make that the best option on the page. If you added Nearby Now and we could get these rankings to show, that would be great. Okay? That is it. It depends. So number 1, you got to use the Nearby Now app. Number 2, it has to be coded and structurally put into the website using schema markup, which this is when you guys will stop liking me. Markup, and it's .org. There. So if you look at, this is what it is. If the big of a nerd, HVAC business. There are specific instructions for your business. It's right here. This is when the headache starts. But this is what has to happen in order to have, so if you have the review data from Nearby Now, which is approved and in compliance with Google's requirements, and the site is structured well with structured data for an HVAC business on the website, then cross your fingers and hope that Google shows those stars one day. That's the option. Yes. And I wish I had a better answer for that. But
That's something you guys work on as their partners.
Yes, we do all of that. Yes. So 3 years ago when this option came out, we were going nuts. We were standing on every stage saying, oh my God, this is cool. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread. This is amazing. We can make your review show on your website right now. I don't know how long this is going to last. That was a real statement, because every dealer that implemented Nearby Now and went with the site with structured data at that time, they killed it for a certain window. And then Google started realizing, because web companies were getting smart, web companies were launching the data with the average ranking being 5 stars, and they were hard coding 1,283 reviews into the schema instead of actually getting them on Nearby Now. So Google started pulling off those reviews and not showing them. So every time we try and buck the system, they figure it out. So now they're a little finicky on showing those. We used to have every one of our pages on all our sites with Nearby Now show the stars. They don't all show that anymore. Neither does anyone else's. It's rare. So that was a really tight window of having something that got you more business than everyone else on page 1 of Google. You were guaranteed to get that call. And now it's harder. Short window. But still doable. It's here. Okay. Definitely your favicon, because I can't find your website every time I'm trying to come back and find it. Little things like that. All right, so I'm going to stop there. You've got coupons. So coupons is an interesting term. Usually what people are looking at is online coupons or discounts. Yeah, online coupon codes, something like that. Think real digital instead of real print. So if it's online coupon codes, it's a digital download, something like that, it's easier. And I think that just the site's older in nature. And interesting, you have an SSL certificate purchased but not correctly installed on the server, which is why it's saying that the site's not secure. So there's still some kind of violation, even though you have a certificate available. And that would take a smarter person than myself to figure out. It's a different human. Okay, who's next?
Lunch
Yes.
is ready.
Lunch is ready. Let's get lunch. Good stuff.